Hello and welcome to a fresh edition of Science Monitor, your weekly update on what's happening in the field of science and technology in and around the country. From students attempting a world record to promote environment-friendly technologies to a high-tech method of irrigation and a mind-boggling math puzzle getting an astronomical solution after a gap of 65 years. We have lots in store for you, but first let us begin with the headlines. On Mahatma Gandhi's 150th birth anniversary, students set a world record by assembling and lighting 9,500 solar lamps, also pledge love for the environment. A digital exhibition on Father of the Nation by Department of Science and Technology, virtual reality and augmented reality installation let viewers explore Gandhiji's life. Successful trial of subsurface drip irrigation in CSSRI Karnal, technology to reduce water wastage and increase the income of farmers. And how the final piece of a mathematics puzzle was solved after a gap of 65 years with the help of supercomputing solutions. Now the news in detail. This year marked the 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. Many programs were organized across the country remembering Gandhiji and his teachings. On the occasion, the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India also organized several programs and activities to promote Gandhi's vision on developing sustainable technologies. One program was organized at Indira Gandhi Indoor Stadium where 9,500 children set a world record by assembling and lighting all the solar lamps simultaneously. The aim of this event was to create a sense of environment in the children and to encourage them to adopt nature-friendly technologies. Let's have a look at the report.
On the occasion of 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy collaborated with Indian Institute of Technology, Mumbai, to organize a global student solar assembly in New Delhi. The assembly was held at the Indira Gandhi Indoor Stadium and thousands of school children participated in the event. The aim of this initiative was to create awareness among the youth about the alternative sources of energy and to create a unique world record. The students were first taught about the parts of the solar lamps and then the way to assemble them. Later, the students repeated the procedure independently.
Today here we have gathered for making solar lamp. That solar lamp is basically we are making it to promote solar energy in our surroundings, in our schools, in the villages, in the rural areas. So it's a very good initiative by IIT Mumbai and Ministry of Energy.
Union Minister for Environment, Forest and Climate Change Prakash Javadekar and Power and Renewable Energy Minister R.K. Singh graced the occasion with their presence. The ministers encouraged the children and expressed happiness over their participation in the assembly. The students were later directed to light the solar lamps collectively and simultaneously to create a world record.
आपको बधाई इसलिए कि आज आपने अपने हाथ से, अपने मन से, अपने दिल से एक सोलर लैंप तैयार किया है, इसलिए आपको बधाई। ऐसा नहीं चलेगा, वो बत्ती जलाओ और दिखाओ। सभी लोग बत्ती जलाएं।
The event was duly attended by the officials of the Guinness Book of World Records. The event was a beauty to behold and an apt tribute to Mahatma Gandhi.
Here we were provided with the solar ambassador kit and we were to make lamps, solar lamps, for which it will be very useful to us. We had volunteers here and our teachers also guide us and we had make solar lamps very easily.
हम जहाँ अभी हम इनको छोटी छोटी चीज़ें जैसे सोलर लैम्प्स हम इस चीज़ में यूज़ कर रहे हैं, हम क्या पता आगे जाकर सोलर कार्स जैसी चीज़ों में यूज़ कर सकें और हम अपने ईंधन को बचाकर हम उस अपने शहर को, अपने कंट्री को और अपने वर्ल्ड को पोल्यूट होने से बचा सकें।
One more record was also set at this event in addition to the record of largest number of assembly and lighting of solar lamps. The other record was set for providing environmental sustainability lessons to the largest number of students in one place. the Union Minister Prakash Javadekar also administered the oath to the students for non-violence towards the environment, and students took the oath sincerely to pledge their love for environment.
मेरा धर्म है, इसके लिए मैं पेड़ लगाऊंगा.
The solar assembly was also organized in other cities of India, and many students participated in these events to profess their love for the nature. According to the reports, the assembly was organized internationally in 60 countries. This initiative is bound to make a healthy relationship between the new generation and the environment.
We usually know the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, as the hero of freedom movement. But he was far ahead of his times as the torchbearer of sustainable development. He believed in developing indigenous technologies that would empower the rural India to stand on its own feet. For Gandhi, his spinning wheel or charkha was one such instrument that could lead to the self-sustainability of the Indian economy. Let us see our special report to know more about Gandhi's vision on sustainable development and science.
The life and philosophy of Mahatma Gandhi has been a source of inspiration in every way. His daily routine was an apt example of an ideal healthy lifestyle. He advocated innovation in the indigenous resources of the country to make the citizens self-reliant instead of looking at outward solutions. His charkha was just such an example.
Charkha as a technology is not the central message of Gandhiji. It's a symbol of a particular thinking. What is that thinking? That thinking is that we need appropriate, relevant technologies for people who make use of local resources, that satisfies the local needs and makes use of local skill set. So it is about empowering people.
Gandhiji was a torchbearer for the sustainable development. He supported labor-intensive activities and stressed on environment conservation. According to Gandhiji, popularization of science was not a linear transfer of knowledge from the expert to the layperson, but had to be done as a collaborative effort.
Gandhiji was a visionary. He was far ahead of his times. Today, going in the future, we face similar challenges in terms of intelligent machines. And our response has to be with some Gandhian wisdom in that. The second aspect, the second challenge for the society is sustainable development. Now it has become clear to us after 1 century, but he was talking about it a century ago.
Pick any contemporary initiative in India, be it sanitation drive, development of rural technologies, sustainable development, or even Make in India, Mahatma Gandhi appears to be relevant in every area.
Bringing a scientific context to mark the 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi, a digital exhibition was also inaugurated at the Office of Department of Science and Technology in New Delhi. The exhibition, named Digital Gandhi Gyan Vigyan, had augmented reality and virtual reality installations related to important aspects of Gandhi's life. Let's have a look at the report to know more about the exhibition.
A high-tech exhibition titled Digital Gandhi Gyan Vigyan was inaugurated in New Delhi to commemorate the 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. The initiative, started by the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, exhibits a virtual reality model of Sabarmati Ashram. Through this VR installation, visitors can gain a lifelike experience of visiting the ashram. The visitors were visibly excited to get an opportunity to know about the places and the things closer to Gandhiji's life through this technology.
Not everybody would actually be physically visiting Sabarmati Ashram in their lives, but it is necessary that we unfold the tale of Sabarmati Ashram in everybody's consciousness. So they have access to Sabarmati Ashram through virtual reality.
The installations at this exhibition have been developed by an Indian startup company, Vizara Technologies, working in the area of digital heritage preservation. By incorporating a treasure hunt game, the company has also added an element of thrill in this installation. This is especially exciting for the children, and through this game, they also get the chance to learn more about the Mahatma.
One can learn a lot just walking around there, and by looking at things and learning the stories behind them, learning the lessons behind them. To make it attractive, there is also a thing called treasure hunt, which has been put in there, especially attractive for young people.
An augmented reality app has also been developed for the digital Gandhi exhibition that can be downloaded on a phone or a tab. The AR installation has a physical model of Gandhiji's charkha, which gets animated when seen through the AR app. Users can interact with the charkha by spinning it with their fingers to produce a thread out of cotton. The exhibition not only serves the purpose of preserving our heritage in the digital form, but also attempts to educate the new generation about the life and vision of Mahatma Gandhi, so that the youth can learn from his life and experiences.
It's time for a short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more stories. Keep watching Science Monitor. Welcome back. You're watching Science Monitor. Agriculture is the primary source of livelihood for majority of India's population. Therefore, the central as well as the state governments are constantly looking for steps to increase the income of the farmers. The laboratories of the Indian Council of Agricultural Research also work consistently to improve the farming methods and to develop innovative technologies to achieve this goal. One such technology is being tested successfully at the Central Soil Salinity Research Institute in Karnal. What is this technology? Let us see the report to know more about it.
Irrigation is the most important part of agriculture, as crops cannot grow without adequate water. But over the years, we have exploited the available water resources in the name of irrigation, and it has led to depletion of groundwater level as well as reduced water resources. This has also been a major reason behind the increased cost of farming and reduced profits. As the governments are constantly planning to increase the income of the farmers, so scientists are stressing on developing and adopting new farming technologies to make agriculture a profitable venture. One such method is the subsurface drip irrigation that has several advantages over the other popular methods of irrigation. Subsurface drip irrigation technique is being used successfully at the Central Soil Salinity Research Institute of the Indian Council of Agricultural Research, Karnal. Although regular drip irrigation is already being used at many places, yet it is not useful for all kinds of crops. It is also not suitable for very large areas, as removing and installing it every time is a costly affair. But these problems can be solved with subsurface drip irrigation. In this system, drip pipes are laid about 20 centimeters below the surface in the fields. Through these pipes, water is supplied directly to the roots of the crops. Scientists of CSSRI are also using this system to grow crops like paddy that require a lot of water.
जितना जो प्लांट की जड़ को पानी चाहिए सिर्फ उतना ही पानी दिया जाता है। जो अगर धान की बात करें तो हम 56% पानी इसमें सेव करते हैं, बचाते हैं, लेकिन मक्का गेहूं पे हम 70% से ऊपर पानी को बचाते हैं। इसमें धान की सीधी बिजाई की जाती है। जब धान की सीधी बिजाई करते हैं और उसमें पानी खड़ा नहीं रखते, पानी जब खड़ा नहीं रखना तो उसको डीजल की कमी है, उसमें रिसोर्सेज की सेविंग है।
To make subsurface drip irrigation more useful, scientists have installed moisture sensors in the fields. These sensors give information about the amount of moisture in the soil, and as soon as the moisture levels become low, farmers can water the crops. Through this method, fertilizers are transported directly to the roots of the plants by mixing them with water. This also adds to the profit, as only the right amount of fertilizer is required.
तकरीबन 25% जो खाद है वो कम डालना पड़ता है। पैदावार जो अगर हम साल की देखते हैं, दोनों फसलों की, धान और गेहूं की, दोनों फसलों की पैदावार को जब देखते हैं तो किसान जिस तरीके से करता है उससे 20% की हमें इनकम ज़्यादा होती है।
Technologies like subsurface drip irrigation prove that agriculture can be transformed into a profitable venture with the use of technology and innovation. Scientific and agricultural research institutes of the country are constantly working in this direction. Efforts are needed to take these technologies to every corner of the country so that all farmers can benefit from these developments.
And now let's take a look at some other developments from the field of science and technology in our special segment, Science Express.
Famous Indian classical singer Pandit Jasraj has also made a name for himself in the universe. International Astronomical Union has named a minor planet between Mars and Jupiter after the Indian classical singer. The minor planet was discovered on 11th November 2006 and has been numbered 300128 by reversing the birth date of the famous Indian artist. The term minor planet refers to a celestial object that orbits the sun but is neither a planet nor a comet. Padma Vibhushan recipient Pandit Jasraj has become the first Indian musician to receive this honor. Indian researchers have developed a new system for flood forecasting in urban areas. The system is based on computer programming that can forecast the local weather, high tides, and storms based on the data obtained from various sources. The system is being launched in Chennai, where flood forecasting can be done keeping all the parameters in mind, including the height of the tidal wave in the Bay of Bengal and the water level in the reservoirs and rivers of Chennai. As the urban floods have wreaked havoc in the last few years, and currently the cities in Bihar are also facing the fearsome floods, this system can prove to be useful in pre-flood preparation and rescue operations. The Indian Space Research Organisation has prepared a landslide map of the Western Ghats. Scientists at the National Remote Sensing Centre in Hyderabad studied last year's rains and landslides according to the data received from the satellites. On this basis, 98,356 square kilometre area belonging to the worst affected 23 districts of Kerala, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu has been mapped. Landslide maps will provide the necessary information and help for preparing early warning, rapid response, relief, rehabilitation, and prevention of potential landslides in these areas. A study has revealed that hypertension is spreading rapidly in India, affecting the younger generation. The study is based on the data collected across 28 states in the year 2015 by the Cardiological Society of India. The figures show that 30% of the adult population is affected by hypertension. Hypertension or high blood pressure is directly linked with the increasing incidence of heart attack, heart failure, stroke, and many other life-threatening diseases. The study conducted by the several medical institutes, including the All India Institute of Medical Sciences and Fortis Escort Health Institute, New Delhi, has been published in the Indian Heart Journal.
It is time again for a short break. Keep watching Science Monitor. Welcome back to Science Monitor. A mathematics puzzle that baffled the smartest of the mathematicians for nearly 65 years has finally been solved, all thanks to ingenuity of mathematicians and a worldwide computer network. The puzzle appeared simple but proved tricky when attempts were made to solve it. Some believe that the puzzle could be centuries old as it is related to Diophantine equation. What was the puzzle and how was it solved? Let us see in our special report.
How many numbers from 1 to 100 can be written as the sum of 3 cubes? The numbers could be positive, negative, and even greater than 100. Let's take the example of 9. If we add the cube of 0, 1 and 2, then we get the number 9. But all the digits between 1 and 100 cannot be represented as the sum of the cube of 3 positive digits. Cubes of negative digits also have to be used. For example, we have to add cubes of 3, -2 and -2 to get the number 11. Many digits may have more than one answer and require heavy effort. For example, 51 is a combination of cubes of -796, 602 and 659. Finally, only 2 numbers remained and proved elusive for 65 years. The numbers were 33 and 42. In March this year, the solution for number 33 was also found. 33 is the sum of the cubes of these 3 numbers that appear on your TV screen. This mind-boggling question was solved by Professor Andrew Booker of the University of Bristol in Britain. His research was published in the journal Research in Number Theory in March 2019. But the number 42 was the toughest. Eventually, Professor Booker collaborated with Professor Andrew Sutherland of Massachusetts University. Together, the two mathematicians have now found a solution to this problem. Now you're looking at the numbers whose cubes, when added, equal to the number 42. Hold on. Don't give in to your urge to check out the answers on your computers or calculators. Your devices do not have this capacity. As to reach this conclusion, the mathematicians used a crowdsourced platform that harnessed unused computing power from over 5 lakh home PCs. Millions of hours of pool computing were needed to solve this problem. Naturally, this is not everybody's cup of tea. These questions are a part of calculus mathematics. The use of calculus mathematics is compulsory in astronomy and many other fields. Due to these 2 digits, many calculations were not being done accurately. After getting the answer to the age-old question, now it is expected that the activities related to astronomy will be strengthened worldwide.
And now it is time for our segment History of Science to know how the past events have shaped our present world of science and technology.
8th October 1922. Noted Indian biophysicist G.N. Ramachandran was born on 8th October 1922. After receiving a master's degree in physics from Madras University in 1942, he joined Nobel laureate Sir C.V. Raman at the Indian Institute of Bangalore and worked on X-ray diffraction and X-ray crystallography. In 1954, Ramachandran focused on the structure of organic macromolecules and described the structure of collagen. Collagen is the most abundant protein found naturally in the connective tissue of mammals. He is best known for developing a Ramachandran plot that could be used to examine and assess any structure in general, but peptides in particular. During 1965 to 1977, Ramachandran also did a very inspiring work on 3-dimensional image reconstruction from radiographs and electron micrographs that later proved to be helpful in CT scan technology. 11th October 1957, the world's first giant radio telescope at Jodrell Bank Observatory became active in England. The 76-meter diameter antenna telescope was designed by British astronomer Bernard Lovell. This radio telescope is generally known for tracking and communicating with man-made satellites, but its main function is to study the universe through radio waves emitted by distant stars. It is still one of the largest and most powerful radio telescopes in the world. 14th October 1884. American inventor George Eastman was granted a patent for a photographic film roll. This discovery by Eastman brought a revolution in the field of photography. Eastman used coated paper and rollers instead of heavy glass dry plates to reproduce images. Only after this invention, he was able to mass-produce small handheld box camera filled with rolls of films with 100 exposures. In 1977, George Eastman was inducted into the National Inventors Hall of Fame in US. October 14th, 1947. American Air Force Captain Charles Elwood Yeager became the first person to fly faster than the speed of sound. He flew a Bell X-1 experimental rocket plane at Mach 1.06, some 40,000 feet over Muroc Dry Lake in California. Mach number is the ratio of the speed of a body to the speed of sound in any undisturbed medium through which the body is traveling. So it is said that the aircraft is flying at Mach 1 if its speed is equal to the speed of sound in air.
That is all in today's episode. Do tell us your views about our program. Our email ID is news@vigyanprasar.gov.in. You can also write in to us at Vigyan Prasar, 5th floor, Prithvi Bhavan, Lodi Road, New Delhi, 110003. We'll be back with fresh news stories on science and technology again next week. Till then, stay tuned and think scientifically.